Good evening, everyone. This is Jeanette. I am your guest speaker. Sadly, I can't be with you right now because I'm in Melbourne, but I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic time at Parliament House celebrating the Chief Minister's Inclusion Awards. It's fantastic. Now, what am I talking about? Why do you have me? Well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am Jeanette. I live in Canberra. I work in the public service. I have published 3 books and contributed to 4 more. I write many magazine articles and blog posts and things like that. I've been on television. I'm on a board of an organisation, but I'm also someone who has a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome and atypical schizophrenia. So I'm somebody who's had quite a lot of difficulties in life. Now, what I'm going to talk today about is socially valued roles. Now, that's sort of like inclusion. It's related to inclusion, and what socially valued roles are those things that I just listed off about myself. They are things we do that give us self-respect and make others value and respect us. On the converse side, there are socially devalued roles, and I'm very unusual in that I've had pretty much all the socially valued ones and most of the socially devalued ones. So going back into my past, when I was a child, I was bullied a lot. I was the least popular child in my school. Everybody hated me. It was horrible. This did terrible things to my self-esteem. So I went through my early adult years not really valuing myself at all. In fact, I was so negative about myself that I wanted bad things to happen. So I sought out things like drug issues and being involved with the wrong peer groups and having criminal boyfriends and even ending up in jail. I was probably one of the most socially devalued people you could ever think of. So how on earth did I get to where I am now? And there is a story in this, and there is a story about building social value. So when I was 26, I'd been out of prison for about 6 months, I decided I wanted something different. I wanted to be ordinary. What's ordinary? That sounds terrible and beige. For me, ordinary meant to have a professional job, to have a mortgage, to wear a suit, and to have a university education. This is what I wanted for myself as a recently released ex-prisoner. Within 8 years, I had all of those things. I went on a journey. Most people don't get to go on this journey. It's an interesting and different journey. But I started to suddenly make inroads into positivity. I started to focus on the good. So I enrolled in university, and I discovered that I was a wonderful student and I loved my course. Things went on. I was still living in public housing. I was still very vulnerable. When I was 30, something happened, the biggest social valued role you could imagine. I became an author. I met someone called Donna Williams, who's an autism advocate and wonderful author based in Melbourne, and she gave me a lot of direction and a lot of mentorship with my book. And I wrote this thing, not expecting anyone to get to read it, sent it to a publisher and they said yes. And that changed everything about my life, because instead of looking in the mirror and seeing a socially devalued someone, an ex-prisoner, an ex-drug addict, someone in public housing, someone with a serious mental illness, I saw a successful person. I saw an author, which is a fantastic thing. And so I went on from strength to strength until I got to where I am now. And that's just fantastic, and it shows that other people can do that too. That is the value of inclusion, you know, that I managed to become included. And one thing I will say is just a little case study about myself that illustrates the difference that having socially valued roles can actually make for you. So when I was 22, I got very unwell with my mental health issue, which is psychosis. I have schizophrenia sort of thing. And when it happened, I was completely vulnerable. I was powerless. I was disempowered. I was disenfranchised. I was alienated. I didn't like myself. I didn't like the world. What happened when I went to hospital for psychosis actually exacerbated the issue. My life got worse, considerably worse, because no one respected me and I didn't respect myself. I had no protective factors. Flash forward to 2010. I was a public servant. I had been for 3 years. I had a published book. I owned my own home. I got really unwell with psychosis again and I went to hospital. What happened this time was that I learned from the experience. I still have my house, I still have my job, and I feel better about myself. And so that socially valued role of being a public servant and an author and a homeowner and all those things actually strengthened my experience of having a hard time and meant that I got through it and I was okay and nothing drastic happened. And that protective factor about socially valued roles is huge and it's really important. One thing I will say is about inclusion, which we're talking about, and social value. It doesn't just help the person who's included. It actually helps their family and their networks and their friends. It helps their community and it helps the country. So that gets me back to what we're celebrating here tonight, which is the Chief Minister's Inclusion Awards. You guys who were nominated and who won awards are absolutely fantastic, and so are the people who might not have been nominated, who might not get any awards, but who are doing incredible work around inclusion. You're actually making the world a better place, so thank you. And I was one of the judges for the awards, so I got to see some of the nominations and the wonderful work that people are doing. It's fantastic seeing what's going on in our community. But yes, anyone who's working towards inclusion, be it for themselves or someone they know or someone they might not know, is actually doing wonderful things. So I'd like to thank you for having me here tonight. I hope you have a lovely evening. I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't get to meet Tim Ferguson, because I used to love the Doug Anthony All-Stars when I was younger. So hope you're having a nice time emceeing Tim, and maybe we'll meet up some other time. And everyone else, have a fantastic night. Congratulations to you all. Thank you. Goodbye.